Let's talk about food shortages and supply chain problems. This is on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. World braces for renewed supply chain crisis as COVID outbreaks shut down highly vaccinated China. So China is shutting down again, for those of you who didn't know it. And the supply chain crisis is expected to get worse as the resurgence of the viruses in highly vaccinated China led to tens of millions being forced into some kind of a lockdown. This is the first time the communist nation has placed an entire province under lockdown since early 2020. It's the southern city of Shenzhen, and this is notable for being a manufacturing and shipping hub. And it accounts for about 11% of China's economy. And then several other cities were placed on lockdown. Businesses were told to either shutter completely or have employees work from home. The mass closures of businesses all over the country has stoked fears in economic analysts that the ongoing supply chain crisis is about to get worse. So I just wanted you to see this because people seem to think things are getting a little bit better, but they really aren't. And then the other thing I wanted you to look at is this. It's Dr. Circus, SIRCUS.com. And he says, grain exports in full stop, empty bellies ahead. And this is on March 7th. He said the floating ice cover in the Bering Sea reached its greatest February extent since 2013. And then the above map shows the extent of it. The ice covered more than 846,000 square kilometers, that's 327,000 square miles, far exceeding the 1981-2010 mean. Hint, ice covers do not expand in warming climate. Say goodbye to man-made global warming. And he talks about the temperature has gone down 0.71 degrees Celsius. Then, this is what I really wanted you to see. But who cares about the slight temperature change when food prices threaten to explode into the stratosphere? Though cooler and snowier weather is shortening the growing seasons, food prices are going through the roof for multiple reasons with no clear end in sight. Inflation in the food sector, already running hot, is set to go vertical. And you know what that means. If it's exponential, it just goes right like that. The combination of higher costs, lack of supply, labor shortages, and broken logistics has set in motion a crisis which can no longer be avoided. I'm sorry to say that all hell is about to break loose, not only among food producers, but soon in your local grocery stores, as your fellow man realizes that food prices are about to explode to the point where many people are going to go hungry and even starve. So many people are writing in the comments to me that they don't believe any of this is happening. I've got food at my grocery store, so I can't believe it's happening. I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. You might have food at your grocery store now, but with everything going on, chances are in a few months you're not going to. People in countries with money will start buying up whatever they can. So when you read below that grain exports are being cut off from the breadbasket of the world, from Russia, Ukraine, and Hungary, you will see, or I hope, begin to understand the world of trouble heading our way. It would be an understatement to say we are in uncharted waters. Time and history are moving. It seems that every day something happens that we previously thought was highly improbable or impossible. And that's what's happening now. A lot of people think things aren't going to happen because they've never happened before. So they're improbable or impossible. If you can afford to pay double the price at your grocery store from their already sky-high prices, you don't need to read this. Or maybe you do, for no matter how much money a person has, you cannot buy anything when there is little or nothing to buy. As we move into the future, expect shortages. Many knew it would happen one day, and that day last week when Hungary, one of Europe's most grain-rich nations, announced that it would be banning all grain exports effective immediately. This was just hours after Russia banned exports of fertilizer. And already fertilizer plants in England have had to close because of sky-high prices. The move by Hungary shows that those who have it are no longer giving it away, and those who don't will soon find themselves in the middle of an epic food crisis. So expect wheat prices already at record highs to promptly double from here in the next few weeks as the world realizes the extent of the global food crisis that is coming. The coming food crisis will strike every country, and even the rich might find things disagreeable at the food market that will sport severe supply disruptions. At this point, anything can happen, but a food crisis of epic proportions is in the cards, and violent climate change is not going to help. It is violent and it is getting colder. The snow keeps piling up, and even with all the talk of raising interest rates, money is still being created by the trillions, guaranteeing skyrocketing inflation. Global food prices soared to a record high in February, led by a massive jump in vegetable oil and dairy prices, as well as higher costs for grains. International best-selling author, journalist, and counterintelligence expert Daniel Estulin says that problems in the world revolve around the rapidly dying financial system and a coming global bankruptcy. And you can be sure the U.S. is ready to go bankrupt, and then we have a dying financial system. According to Estulin, the United States is in for hardship and poverty never seen before. This is the year for the United States. A lot of things are going to be decided financially, economically, socially, and with a president who should not be there. He says the Russians are used to suffering and having to live on nothing. You, USA, are not. So I just thought I'd bring these to you because so many people are just saying, no, 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 there's no problem here. We've got food. We're not going to lose it. You're just crazy to be even saying this. I'm here to tell you to stock up now as much as you can. That's all I'm trying to tell you. If you're not afraid, well, then don't stock up. But I think most of us should start to prep as much as we can, as often as we can, and try to be prepared for this to happen, because it's probably going to be a very long-term affair, not just 1 or 2 or 3 years, probably into the 5 to 10-year period. And I know we can't stock up that much, but stock up as much as you can and then get self-sufficient, learn to grow your own food. Thanks for watching. Please comment, and I'll see you in the next video.